What is going on, everybody? And happy Tuesday! Back with another Omni X-Men breaking down issue 117. My name is Justin, aka Noga Comics, and with me, as always, not on this side, but this side is John's Comics with Kids. What's up, John?
Hello, Tuesdays. Glad to be here talking X-Men.
Yeah, man. I know it's an extra special day for you, John, because every Tuesday you get the goods a little early with your new comic book days. Sometimes.
Diamond has been just a real beast in the last few weeks. So my LCS has, they didn't get their books, so they're still waiting. And I know that it's hitting some people hard that way. My buddy Alec in Florida, they still haven't gotten last week's books.
Gosh, wow. I remember him going through stuff like that.
Yeah.
Man, sorry to hear that.
It's Diamond and the weather. It's hard to deal with those things sometimes.
So the other one's doing fine. Lunar's doing okay. Getting through.
I'm not certain. I mean, if you're talking about like the DC books, like they do show. They are here this week and they were there last week. But I know that like 3 weeks ago they didn't show. So. It's wonderful. Shipping right now is very, very wonderful.
Yep.
With us today is our special guest, as you see down below here, is JR, aka Rogue's Law from Team Nerd Herd. What's going on, JR?
Nothing much. Just thought I'd crash the party. Long time X-Men fan, so figured I had to make an appearance over here.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. I know that you've been hanging out with us in the chat now for pretty much, the entire time we've been doing these shows. So we appreciate you always hanging out and being part of the crowd. I know you're a big X-Men fan, as you mentioned, so definitely looking forward to hearing a little bit of your input on this issue. And and guys, if you're not already following JR, I put his information in the link down below. You can also find John's information as well. Both their Instagram pages as well as YouTube channels are there. JR, I put Team Nerd Herd YouTube link there.
That's
for you guys.
Best place to find me.
Yep. Yeah, you guys are doing some really, really cool stuff on your channel, and especially some new interviews and stuff like that. Definitely a fun time over there. So we are here to talk about X-Men issue 117. And before we dive into all the fun details, let's say a quick hello to the chat. Also, don't forget to hit that like button. That always helps. Thumbs up. We got Magic Lasso in the house, number one here. Hi, No Good and John and JR. Question: why did Professor X take an insect as a student when it couldn't talk? Answer: because it was a mute ant. Oh yeah, I'll warn you guys now. There's gonna be a lot of
nowhere to go but up from here. I'm just saying.
Wow. Gonna be a lot more where that came from. Just giving you guys a heads up now. We got Panel Surfing in the house. He was just chatting it up previously when I was live. So what's going on, Panel? Thanks for swinging by this show and hanging out. We also have Fuchsia. Hey Fuchsia, what's going on? And maybe Soldiers nearby as well. Good to see you. Good to see you. And we have the Jackson Roy Kirk always hanging out with us as well. Thanks, man, for swinging in and hanging out with us. Looks like a lot of people chatting it up. We do have Brandon, Comics Kings, who's in the house as well. He recently had a birthday, so happy birthday, my friend. Mind battles at a bar, just like watch the Steelers Ravens at Buffalo Wild Wings. Yeah, I don't know if that's exactly how it goes, but yeah.
So it's go Steelers, right?
For him it is, not for me. And we also have Kelly in the house. What's going on? Spells and Monsters over on Instagram. Kelly, good to see you. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. And the chat just jumped a little bit. We got Alonzo from Team Nerd Herd representing. What's going on, Alonzo? And also TJ Slabdragon Watson in the house. He says, gentlemen, hello. All right, so thank you all for hanging out with us. Appreciate that. Let's dive into a little bit before we get into the actual panels and stuff. John, what did you think overall about issue 117?
I will say I'm so torn on this issue because there's things that I absolutely love about it and things that drive me crazy and frustrate me about it. Sorry, here's the chat. I'm a huge fan of the Shadow King as a character, and he's a wonderful villain. In fact, the perfect villain for somebody like Xavier. It's just a great matchup. I loved him, the character, the way they used him on Legion, the show. There are portions of this issue that I think are phenomenal, and it's usually involving some of the warfare between Xavier and the Shadow King. I just feel like it's hard when you're so into the team and this comic, and then they sideline everybody and just try to make, and they spend the issue trying to make Professor X look cool. And that's a really tough job. That's like not an easy job. Sure. So overall, I'd probably give this an 8, maybe an 8.5 out of 10. I still really enjoyed it. You got your Burn Baby Burn. The artwork is fire. There's so many great panels in here. It just sucks that you had to sideline the whole team for like a little, and there's still random little things like a Storm cameo that I'm like, why is that being thrown in? What's the glitch there? I don't know what's going on.
Fair enough. Fair enough. JR, what'd you think?
I actually liked it. I mean, and I would probably go a 9. I didn't mind the one-off story because compared to nowadays, that would be a whole extra issue. I'd have to go buy the Xavier one-shot versus Shadow King. And I'd be like, why do I want to buy an Xavier one-shot?
That's true.
You know what I mean? So I don't mind it so much in that situation. What I was more miffed about was at the time, I mean, spoilers, he kills Shadow King. And you're like, okay, you just made this great character, and then you kill him right off the bat. It's like, that makes no sense. I mean, obviously, Claremont knows best. We didn't know at the time, but he comes back eventually. I always liked Farouk. I thought Farouk was a great character. And I wish they would do more with him, do more of a Legion type thing. I thought the show Legion was great. I thought their version of him in Legion was awesome. But it just seems like they don't know in the writing how to work him. He's one of those characters that you saw a hard time with.
Interesting. So. See, I didn't. Well, at least I mean, I had an idea later on, but when I first read this, I didn't really know. I mean, I guess I don't know. I guess maybe I kind of understood, but I didn't really consider the idea that they were going to reuse him later. I mean, I guess with the highlights of like websites and apps saying that this is a first appearance, that okay, so this must be like somewhat of a character since for them to highlight that as a first appearance. But that is a good point that they essentially take him out rather quickly in this issue. I mean, I'm JR. I'm with you with. I think I would give this a 9. I also didn't mind too much of the kind of change up with taking a break from the team for a second and going a little bit more in depth with this storyline, especially getting a little bit of a background with Storm, kind of having that tie in. That and the artwork. I love how they did all that, especially with Storm and stuff. But just seeing how she kind of grew up and stuff. So I'm going to give it a 9. We talked about the artwork. I definitely love the artwork. So let's dive into the panels, and I'll bring that up here. We can start with the cover overall. We touched a little bit on it, but John, what did you think of this cover?
It's a strange cover for this issue. I mean, I love a good floating head cover, and we definitely have 3 floating head here. I don't know why Nightcrawler's floating head is in this cover. Like, he's like really not in this issue hardly at all. They really make the Shadow King look totally different than really he is in the issue. This is a strange way to present him. And what's with shirtless Xavier flexing here?
Thank you.
There's so many, and toothless. Why is the Shadow King toothless? Like, there's so many layers to this confusing cover. Usually a good floating head cover I would be down for, but this is one of my least favorite that we've probably had up to now.
Interesting. Yeah. JR, what do you think?
He almost looks like a lava monster. Like you're looking at it and look, it's like, I mean, it makes no sense with that cover. And then shirtless Xavier, it's like, did we need to know that he was ripped? Well, I mean, I understand he's using a wheelchair and everything. Okay, he works out a little bit, but that was a strange cover.
Well, here, this is what you got to remember though: is this is him in his astral body, right? So if you had the ability to just give yourself whatever muscles you wanted to in this,
or not be fat,
mental thing, then like I would be chiseled, I would certainly,
your ideal self, you're saying.
But but I get where you're coming from. Yeah. And sure. I think it would be a little more interesting if there was teeth and stuff. Overall, I think that this this stands out to me where you could see this cover from across the room, and just the bright yellows and orange and things like that. So I think I like it for that aspect of it and just how the colors pop.
So isn't Storm's shouldn't she recognize Shadow King? Like her look is like I can't explain what expression she has.
She's like, oh crap! Well, who's that lava monster? That's what she's like.
Why is my head floating on this cover?
Yeah. What is Nightcrawler doing next to me? So all right, so that's interesting. Well, let's dive in. First panel here, we start off with the beautiful Storm close up here. Always love these opening pages. They're calling this one the Psy War, and the last that we left off, it was the team had just left the Savage Lands with this boat and immediately dive right into this storm. So we have Storm versus Storm here, and for the team, it's certainly been something that's just so ongoing. It's just nonstop with kind of what they're running into time and time again.
I need another vacation here soon.
Could be. It could be.
Each issue is either diving deeper into trouble or having a vacay and playing some baseball.
Yeah, right. It's a very extreme one or the other. That's for sure. Didn't know he had upper body strength. Maybe he does sit-ups. There you go. He could.
He's definitely not skipping chest and arms day.
No. What's up, Nigel? Good to see you, man.
At least he doesn't have to deal with legs day.
Yeah. So we definitely jump into this rather quickly, and I thought this was yeah. Go ahead, John.
I love the art in this bit here, and them drenched in the rain, Colossus looking all badass, and the look of these panels, these are really, really great. I think they really nailed the weather look.
Absolutely. Yeah, I read this with the first time around. I read this with the digital, my iPad, and it was like this really cool zoom up of Colossus and a little bit of Wolverine, and then as you swipe it, shows more Wolverine and Nightcrawler, and it stood out to me in such a way where I took a picture of it before. Just I really liked the layout of it, but I think you're right there. The weather is really cool. We got Morbius in the house. Morbius.
And Chet, what's up, Chet?
Oh, there's the man. Oh. Chet just jumped on me. Chet, sorry I'm late. 9-6 Stansigged. Woo.
He's doing it right.
Yeah, so, Chet, do you need my name for your will when you pass on? I can get that to you, sir.
Hey, no, he's taking good care of himself, man. He looks like Xavier on the front of this cover.
Shoot, he looks like Colossus in this scene.
There you go.
I just like this part where Wolverine's just yelling at Cyclops, like, "Hey, isn't she supposed to have powers? Why isn't she using them?" It's such Wolverine, to just react the way he is.
I almost wish she would have thrown a lightning bolt at him.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a lot of metal down there. Somebody's going to get hit by it.
Yep.
I also liked how. I mean, we've talked about this before, but just how the panels kind of go outside their boundary, and you can see Storm's hand there. And
it's been those last 4 or 5 issues that Byrne's been really stretching out of the frames and not feeling so confined. So you get these fun bleed overs.
Mm-hmm. It'd be interesting to talk to him about that and ask him, was that something clearly on your mind, especially within this time? Because you're right. We in the beginning when he was first starting, we didn't see it as much. And now
Cockrum didn't really do it either.
No. So I wonder if there were other people in other books that were just doing it before him, or if maybe he kind of started this, or curious where that stands. Chet says, as for the will, you can have the unsigned reprints. There you go.
Hey, something's better than nothing, right?
Can't complain about that. All right, so we are. So luckily, the team gets discovered. There's this huge boat that just shows up out of nowhere. Holy ship! And so they're luckily rescued. Storm is able to hold off the actual storm at least enough to where the team can climb aboard and talk to these gentlemen here who are willing to, or at least the captain is willing to take them aboard. Scott is asking if they could use their phone or contact somebody, and he gets rejected as it is a government mission and that they can't stop for anything right now. But at least they're out of they're still in the weather technically, but at least they're on a safer ship,
So I have a little gripe with that one, because wouldn't what's Nightcrawler would have bamped up there, and Colossus would stay in steel form while climbing. When two switched out, I mean, you would think that and then Nightcrawler could have bamped with Wolverine, or Cyclops or Colossus. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're right. Good point.
I don't know if he's warmer or colder in metal form or in flesh form. Like, what is it?
I'm thinking a rope ladder when you're probably
heavier,
a ton.
Right.
Yeah.
You're gonna rip the sucker.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Well, remember, the guy was just very pink before, as he was, almost being burned at the stake. So maybe that has to do with his attitude.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe. I'm
just trying to put two and two together. I don't know. Let's see. Jumping into it. So we say goodbye to Jean here. She's decided that, it's time for her to move on. She was at the mansion. She's saying goodbye to Lilandra, and it's been sitting with her now. She's bothered by the death, and they still think to this time period that the team is gone, that they're dead. What do you guys think of this?
I always felt it was weird that her impressive abilities kept her from noticing that they were alive still. I just feel like it's a little funny that the two most powerful telepaths that we really have going in the MCU, right, in the Marvel universe, right, at this point, couldn't tell that the team was still alive. Like, I don't know. It just always irked me a little bit that she didn't have an inkling.
Right.
And we don't see any real mourning either. It's like that one page in the one issue, and then it's just like, here she looks like she's ready to go shopping or something.
And wasn't Cerebro around by then too?
I don't think it was.
I'd have to go.
By the time I find it, Chet's
I know. Yeah, just tell us, Chet.
He's our human encyclopedia for X-Men. But you're right. They definitely didn't show that much to her depression or her being upset in any way. At least not as much as they show Xavier. At least here, these next couple panels that we're going to get here.
Or even Cyclops, when he thought she was dead, he went through like a whole "I'm going to grow a mustache now" thing.
That's true. Yeah. Let's see. Jackson really says, but Xavier wasn't in the mood to use Cerebro. Oh, I mean, I'm curious if
he's trying to go on vacation.
Everybody's
hilarious. Let's go fishing.
Well, here he is, just chilling, very depressed, as you can see on the right here, as he's staring at the team, and Lilandra's trying to bring him some food. I just noted that she has some really cool tattoos on her arm. She's
still sporting that amazing hat, which I don't know if it's hat or part of her head, but it's pretty epic.
Yeah, I thought it was her hair, like initially when we first met her, but now I'm starting to wonder if maybe that's.
I thought it was like a headdress, like a royal. Hair. Okay, it's a look, man.
Yeah.
And Chet's got an answer for us.
Yep, I saw that.
Let's see. So, Cerebro been since issue 7. Oh, okay. Well, there you go then. Then I guess, you're right. I mean, that would probably be my first thing then, would be to, as you just said, JR, like, why wouldn't you just see Cerebro and at least look? I mean, at least check. It's like coming home, or at least back then, and checking your messages, I can't say that so much nowadays, but
right.
My rotary phone over here, I don't think we don't have that. It's her wearing 80s hair before it was popular. There it is. They're trying to show here Xavier's definitely going through some things, and he's really beating himself up. He's blaming himself for a lot of it, that he, maybe it's his fault for putting the team together.
Too many vacations.
Yeah,
that's what I think. If you're gonna blame yourself, pick the right problem to address.
I do like that they note that she brought coffee and bagels. That's nice. Got some cream cheese. And smoked salmon.
And some salmon, yeah.
Yeah, some lox.
It's nice of her. So this is where we're getting this flashback now, this montage of memories that Xavier is going through. It's also me and John's favorite panel here. This is definitely an awesome, beautiful one-pager, if you guys have not seen it.
And I think, we've talked about good and bad uses of exposition and monologuing and all that kind of stuff. And I think this was a pretty effective splash page, getting to see a lot of different things kind of shuffled together really well. I like the layout. I think they did some cool things here. And then, yeah, I think it's a good setup rather than spending a few pages on this that you can just kind of hammer it away right now and then jump into the scene.
Yeah, you definitely don't need to waste too many extra pages on telling this little backstory here. I always mention too, I read digital, and when I read this digitally, it's cool how it kind of shows each scene up close, like zoomed in, and then when you get to the end of it, that's when it like hits you in full. So I always like that.
Just feel like a cheesy 80s song is playing in the background when you're reading this panel.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, not saying it's a bad thing.
No.
No, totally though. You're right. I should have added that there in the description.
Yeah, his little painting moment too is pretty classic down there. Again, look at him flexing. He's like all just ripped, but he's like, I'm a painter too. I have a soft side. I can run on the beach.
Write letters.
Right, and I paint.
That's great.
I don't know that we ever. Is this true first of Xavier as a painter?
Oh.
Does he ever paint again in the history of comics?
That's a good point. Damn, John, you should have told me ahead of time.
It was a phase he went through.
So we get a little bit of background here as he's going over his flashback of how he first started things and how he's then moved on to traveling at that time, still in this flashback scene. And he goes to Cairo. Is this right? Is that where he first goes?
Well, he's moonlighting as Belloc from from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Look at this outfit! Holy crap! I think he legitimately stole Belloc's outfit, and he's cruising through the bazaar looking for Indy.
So great. This is actually I didn't add it on here, but JR, you mentioned this is one of your favorite scenes here, the panels with Storm as a child.
I've just always liked Storm, and I just like seeing her as a kid showing up here. And it's a kind of a cool way to do a backstory of her, give us a little insight, because there wasn't much prior to this.
No.
Right.
So it's nice to get little hints here and there. And she just looks so cute as a little Storm.
Yeah.
With the white hair and everything.
She's always adorable as the little kid Storm.
Lasso says, sorry, but Kitty Pryde goes through a lot of phases.
Boom, chi. Yikes.
Lasso's my favorite.
Lasso's on fire tonight. And as to your question, Lasso, I don't even like Baby Yoda, so it's not really a competition. Like, come on. Do you like
Grogu?
No. No, I don't like Grogu either. neither one of that same person.
You must be a Jar Jar fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I as much as I love more Storm, I'm usually like a proponent of let's just add Storm more to everything. It just seemed like an odd little moment. Like it didn't really shuffle in very well.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder what their mind was with like including her in this part of the story, or as a background of everything. Was it's more of like, oh, we could also pretend because this could have just been any random girl, if they wanted to go that route.
Yeah, there's definitely other characters that would probably fit a little better. But I think you got to remember, I think they wanted to hammer in the fact that she's a thief.
Right. They're setting it up.
Yeah,
right,
that's
because you got future things where she has lockpicks in her tiara and stuff like that.
Sure.
And if we don't see her running around as a kid doing thieving type things, it wouldn't make sense.
Sure. Yeah, no, you're right. That definitely kind of ties that in. Well, I'm with you with the artwork. I definitely like the artwork here. See her bright blue eyes and stuff too, which is cool, and just great art. Basically, so she tries to pickpocket Professor X. He ends up chasing her through the crowd and finds her and hits her with a force bolt. That's where you see that look on her face on the right. She's like frozen stiff there, and he's able to, get his wallet back. But then he's attacked, as you can see at the bottom right here, where it looks like he gets a terrible migraine and falls to his knees as he yells. And almost like, I don't know if that's splatter or if that's just supposed to represent, I guess, his mind getting hit with a force bolt himself.
Psychic juice.
It could be a goblin grenade because you got Green Goblin up in one of the panels there.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah. So here, get the Farouk out of here. We got we have this. This is our first full vision here of Amal Farouk, aka the Shadow King. Which, by the way, I realized I don't think I wrote the word Shadow King at all in this panel. In these slides, letting you all know now, I had full control over these slides, so you're gonna get a lot of really good dad jokes. Lasso, you're gonna love this.
Yeah.
So get the Farouk out of here. We get to meet Shadow King finally. This is also JR's other favorite panel. Really just seeing the man there for the first time himself. JR, you want to say a little bit about these?
Well, one of the things I loved about it is just what they say down there about him sizing him up, and that whole. I mean, I can't read it unfortunately because my eyes aren't that great. But that, and I just realized if you put Kingpin and him side by side, they look like they're almost in the same outfits.
Oh yeah, the white suit.
I mean, there's a little more purple in Farouk's outfit in the hat, but if you just change that to Ascot, it's Kingpin.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
But I just like to see him because the rest of the panel doesn't show him, and then all of a sudden he shows up. It's like, was he playing a mind game and just made it so no one can see him? And then he kind of went, "Aha, I'm here."
Right. I mean, yeah. Well, he's saying here, I am Amal Farouk. I rule what your tourists like to call the Thieves' Quarter. Who are you, my friend? And that's where he replies, a stranger. Doesn't really give away his information here, but yeah, it's a very interesting scene set up here as they're just casually, sitting down to eat. John, what were your initial thoughts of seeing Farouk?
I will say I had read comics with the Shadow King that come way later before I read this issue. This issue happened. So I read all out of chronology. So I already kind of knew who he was when I read this issue. That said, I just think I like the character design and I like the concept for the character. And I think it's executed well right off the bat here. Even to this day, because he's in the New Mutants run right now. And they still use this same basic character design for a lot of his interactions.
Yeah,
definitely. Chet says that him and Kingpin may be on the same diet.
It's better than, I think it was Extreme X-Men where they had him as a giant spider. Did you guys ever see that?
I don't think I ever saw that.
No.
Yikes.
One of the recent runs of one of the X books. He's a giant spider.
I mean, it's hitting the metaphor a little over the head, isn't it?
Yeah.
So next up, so now that they've officially kind of greeted each other as they're talking to each other through the psychic mind, exactly what I'm thinking. I would not want a Farouk with this guy. He is, there's a close-up of his face too. You get see a zoomed-in shot here. Just kind of, again, setting up the scene, and immediately they, go into their astral.
I love the shot looking down above the fan, like through the fan at the two of them, makes a giant X. Like I dig the cold colors they get into on these pages with the blues and the purples. Really cool. And then of course the astral forms. I think it's a cool look to this whole bit here.
Definitely. JR, what'd you think?
I have to say I agree with you on the X. That whole shot of Shadow King's face and the X and then back to Xavier, it just kind of reminds me of a wrestling match. Like it's about to throw down. It's like JJ Law and Big Boss Man, whatever, about to go down.
Do you smell what Farouk is cooking?
Exactly. But I love the fact that you see his form comes out, astral form, and it's just like this normal guy. Farouk's guy comes out, and he's just like, let's go. Just fucking yoked. It's just like, okay. It's like, obviously Xavier doesn't know what he's walking into here.
Not at all.
Right. I wanted to say hello to Mike, Connecticut Comics. What's up? Chat saying these next few panels are beautiful. So let's jump into that. Oh, Farouk, these are great. Oh yeah, I forgot about this one. John, this was one of your favorites. You guys like the play on words here? No,
I'm anytime you get into that sort of like Steranko styled astro nutty kind of stuff, I dig it. That center one where it's like the yellow platform tilted and the cosmos behind them, it starts to get all Starlin crazy, and I just dig it. So again, I think these are the moments that Byrne really shines, when he is able to world build a little bit. He did it in the Savage Lands, that first exposure to the Savage Lands in the Uncanny Run here, and then this. Yeah, I think he clearly when he gets to cut loose, it's always something special.
Yeah,
definitely.
And remind me a little bit of a chessboard too. I mean, I don't know why. Maybe like the 3D chessboards,
sure,
like the Star Trek. That center one, just something about it. I don't know, but I find that last panel kind of weird. They're just kind of like standing like, yeah, we're coming here to beat the crap out of each other, but let's just talk about the ground rules real quick. We're going to do this, okay? It's like, no, Farouk would have went okay, we're going to sumo you right now and just finish this.
Or while I'm talking to you, I'm also like coming up behind you with my other form and strangling you.
Yeah.
I will say, the Star Trek chessboard comment is phenomenal, because what is chess but a whole mind game, right? Like sizing up your opponent, and this obviously is exactly what they're doing.
Yep. And then from there we jump into these samurais, and this is where he really unleashes and is just like, hey, I'm a weapon, by the way. As Farouk, he's not Farouking around. I was having so much fun with these, John. So he immediately, transforms into this samurai, and even you can see that Professor X is taken by this, and then out of nowhere, he's, got these shields and stuff. Almost like he just wasn't prepared for any of this, as JR mentioned. But these look really cool.
Is it just me, or does it look kind of like Darth Vader versus Don Quixote, though?
Beast the Black Knight.
Yeah,
I can see that too.
Silver Surfer as the White Knight.
It is definitely intense. Yeah, definitely. I like the sparks and the fire, the flames that are kind of going around. I don't know. So I feel to get an understanding of this, Professor X, this is what he chose. Is that right? Like this is what he kind of designed for himself, or was this given to him by Farouk?
I think he chose it, but I think it was one of the things where I think he just went, oh shit, I got to do something, and just put something up.
Okay, so this was just his quick reaction
Farouk basically created the battleground and the rules of engagement, and then Xavier is able to organize his own defenses and offenses any way that he wants. Yeah. The mind is limitless, right?
Right. Hey, Brandon, come on now. My Farouk comments are great.
but I think it's very much like it's his what do you call it, auto response type thing. It's like that's just probably like he was just reading like Don Quixote or something, and he just automatically thought of that. Because it took him to that last panel where he finally realizes, oh, we can do whatever we want here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where he kind of like the master taught or learned something from the student in a sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
So that's when
so it's really like him just getting caught off guard first and foremost is just like, okay, let me at least protect myself and then kind of figure it out from here.
And I think it's hard to know at this particular stage. I don't know how much we've seen as far as before this in history, how much Xavier has done as far as astral projected warfare. Like as skilled as he is with his ability, even at this stage, I don't know how many hardcore telepath battles he's had,
True.
At least written wise, I don't think Chet can probably double check, but I don't think he's fought anyone like this before, unless they've retroconned it.
And obviously, this is an incredibly worthy adversary who would break the rules of engagement anyways if he could.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's a villain. What do you expect?
All right, so we get this intense battle, and this is great. Come on, okay, Farouk, I'm all out of ideas. You see what I did there, guys? I know the chat is rolling right now. The chat is rolling.
Wow. So good.
That's almost as bad as the jock strap on his face.
Right.
Yeah, so this is where, as you guys are saying, he's kind of starting to realize now, like, okay, I can work outside of this zone here. I can do more than just what I've done so far. And obviously with Farouk turning into the massive, kind of what we see, on the front cover now, this, no teeth kind of villain.
Boogie.
Yeah, like a large frog. It's like a large frog, actually.
I thought it was the mucus guy from the Mucinex commercial.
There you go.
He can't get out of the fat form even in his own mind. Yeah, it's hard for us fat kids.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so he's so now he's just like, all right, let me just focus all my energy into this one move that I want to do. And while Farouk is doing all these other things and Farouking around. And you see what I did there? See what I did? No. This is definitely the first astral plane professor visit.
That's what I didn't want to assume it, but I did feel like it was sort of presented that Xavier's big flaw in this is just, I don't know, hubris, maybe, like his belief that he's going to be, that nobody could better him because he's not faced anything like this before.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do wish they gave him some teeth or something. I don't know.
Well,
Chet, stop Farouking around. He said, Justin, stop Farouking around. This is gonna go. This joke has legs. I'm just telling you, folks. Be ready. Buckle up.
I was putting this together, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is going in every panel.
Yeah.
How many more panels?
I told you, I'm all out of ideas. I'm all out. So
no freaking way you're out of ideas.
So we'll go into this next. So now he does this, this psychic bolt that essentially is the thing to take out Farouk here. And then
oh wait.
This is definitely not the last Farouk time. You're going to see this amazing piece of artwork, the John Burns masterpiece here.
Yeah, this is from 3 weeks ago. I don't know how this got in here. So
it keeps just showing up.
Yeah.
I think we have a virus.
JR, you know what we're talking about. You were just talking, you do a lot of editing, and it takes time to edit these panels and slides, and sometimes you forget a slide. Sometimes you.
I will be honest. Our Cyclops, Alonzo, does all the slides.
Oh, okay.
So I don't have to do this, thankfully.
That's cool.
That's my nickname for him this week. Last week it was Punchline. This week it's Cyclops.
Nice.
There you go.
The joke has legs.
Punchline's way meaner.
Well, I've been trying to get we have an artist that comes on our show and does art, and I want the artist to do Alonzo as a Punchline.
There you go.
Oh, there's Alonzo there. There's Cyclops. And here's the friendly Team Nerd Herd team member. Steve, you got to break this up. Alonzo and JR going at it here.
Punchline is not awesome. Hard pass.
We got Jason in the house. What's going on, Southern Comic Geek?
What is up, man?
Brandon saying JR really should have waited an issue. We're just having fun,
What is the next issue?
We're just Farouking around. 118.
118.
I think he's just saying that because I'm making really good pun jokes.
But
you wouldn't want to miss that, JR, And I swear this is the last time.
It's a lot better because I'm usually not clean. I've dropped a couple here and there, but I'm usually the butthead of my group. So it's good that you're making the good bad jokes that I can just sit here and laugh. I can relax.
We got let's see, we got Raging Cajun Comics. The chat just jumped on me. Raging Cajun in the house. What's going on? And Victoria, hello. Thanks for hanging out. You're missing all the punny Farouk jokes that I've been having. All right, so let's focus on this issue. Where so here, clearly he. I had to put this together.
So good, so good.
Yeah, you guys know that
good. The SpongeBob. I love it.
I
love the ending of this sequence. These 3 panels stacked. I think it's phenomenal. Definitely. And knowing that the character came back, I'm if he had never come back again, I would have been hugely disappointed. But I love the finality of it, and Xavier's pimp walk out. It's like, peace. You can almost hear like the like, and he's just like rolling out,
wheeling on out.
The Shaft theme song plays, and he's just out.
It really was the first thing that came to mind was SpongeBob, the way he just like silently stands up and walks out. Yeah, so many good memes with that. I'm gonna head out. Why is SpongeBob on the X-Men soap opera? Because he's gonna head out.
We need
I
him
put
to
South
get
Park
the
on one week.
Yeah, so you had South Park one time.
I did South Park once, so I probably opened this can of worms at some point.
So I do want to say with these 3 panels, as you mentioned, reading it digitally was really cool because you saw just the one panel as you swipe. So you just see his head and then the thud and then the women helping him, checking him out afterwards. It really was a cool layout of how things went. So yeah, definitely love this panel. This is actually probably should have been one of my favorites just because of how that's laid out and didn't really need to say much of anything, although he says there, and then nothing. The battle was over and I had won. So that is kind of how he goes out. And then that was all the flashbacks. So now we're back to where the story was being told, back at the mansion where Professor X is kind of still mourning and looking at the team's pictures. And this is where Lilandra invites him back to, she says, I offer you my heart, my soul, my life, my empire. Come home with me. And I just think that that's a rule that if a chick, with an empire, you just don't turn them down if they are offering you to bring you back.
I need a cookie too. Give me a cookie too.
and throw in a cookie. Yeah, that's.
Do I have to wear one of those headdresses?
Yeah.
Well, if you're bald like that, I think you'd want to.
He may want one. Yeah,
I'm saying it might be a deal maker.
Oh yeah.
But see,
throw in one of those.
The only thing that gripes me about this is you have this whole scene of it makes Xavier this badass, and then you go here and again. He's just like, oh, woe is me, woe is me. He doesn't get cerebral. He doesn't find out that the X-Men are alive. You just prove to us that he's a badass.
You're right.
And then do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely. I was not thinking about that until you had brought that up. The idea of using Cerebro was not in my mind as I first, as I read this. But the more I think about it now, it is kind of like, you have this tool that you can just use and. It's almost like him saying, not now, I need to mourn. Like, and he's just not bothering to actually do his homework. Chat was saying, would Charles with Lilandra hair be wetter or worse? That's a solid.
These are the what if issues we really want.
Please hide SpongeBob in every panel of Chet's when he comes on 119. Just put it all over the place.
That's definitely happening. Roy Kirk saying, leave Earth? I can't, but okay. Brandon saying Lasso would be the debut of his drag career. There you go. So she essentially invites him. He says, okay, sign me up. And then we get this as a closer outer, just flashing forward to a airport, which, as I noted here, I'm surprised that any airport would let any of these X-Men remotely close to an airplane after their history of what has been going on.
Misty Knight can go wherever she wants in the Marvel universe. She is allowed.
Yes.
I mean, she is, but I'm surprised that Dean is there. She should have to.
She can make him see whoever she wants.
Yeah, that's true. Chat saying, "You're just trying to give me a heart attack."
But didn't she go to Misty went to Tokyo?
Yes, that's where she's going right now.
But wasn't Jean going to somewhere also in Japan? She was going to Tokyo also.
I thought Jean just said she was going away. I don't remember where she said she was going.
I thought she was going to Tokyo. Or going to somewhere in Japan. Because it looks like she's saying trip to Tokyo.
No, that's the announcer saying nonstop boarding to Tokyo. They don't necessarily tell her where she's heading.
Okay, then I just misread that when I read it.
I did. I had to read it twice myself. Realizing this, she doesn't specifically say where she's going. She's just at the ticket counter.
I think she ends up going. That's not when she goes to Alaska, right?
I can't
Future
remember where she's heading.
I don't remember.
Yes, Lasso. Obviously, with the Phoenix Force, she could probably fly there, but whatever.
Oh, we got
Rod is here.
Just a Rican and his comics.
I agree, Brandon. Misty Knight she needs to be in more comics. Although I will say she's been being used a ton by the sort of symbiote crew of Donny Cates. So, I mean, I loved her tie-ins to Absolute Carnage. I've been enjoying all of her Ravencroft stuff. Like, they're using her really well.
Yep. Thanks for stopping in, Rod. Good to see you, man. So I just I wasn't crazy about this ending, but I guess they have to end it somewhere, and so I guess this was fine. I mean, it does kind of help set certain things up, I guess.
I think that's the beginning and the end of this issue is like, little this, little that. We hey, there is a team to this comic, but this is the crux of the story is obviously Xavier stuff. I just wish we had less of that and more of the side battle. That's just me.
Yeah, if they gave more detail to that definitely would have been cool. See more of the different worlds and stuff like that. All right. Well, so that's essentially how that wraps up. Any other mentions of this? Well, I mean, we can get into the numbers here. It does have Shadow King there. First appearance of Shadow King, aka Amal Farouk, a powerful psychic. That's the key element. I also added other facts. The origin of Professor X concerning a difficult psychic battle against Amal Farouk, which was the inspiration to create the X-Men. And then also Professor X recalls his first encounter with Storm. So these are a 9.8 is going for, on average from Go Collect anyways, a fair market value of $300, which
cheap.
It's pretty cheap considering it's a key villain first appearance, a villain who keeps coming back, used on a TV series.
Yeah.
And we're in these early burn issues. It's still amazing that book is as cheap as it is.
Yeah. I might have to go find that.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same. This is and a 9.6 goes for 140. So just about the double multiplier there.
Yeah.
Which is much more calm than what we've seen in the past. Let's see, and then there's for 9.8s, there's a total of 173 that are out there, and then it jumps to 289 for a 9.6 and 262 for a 9.4 before going back down to a 9.2 going for there's 165 of those. I mean, look, I mean, a 9.2 goes for $60. I mean, that's pretty.
It drops off pretty quick.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
I'm a big fan of 9.4s, so like when they're like really expensive or whatever, I wouldn't mind getting 9.4s, but this is definitely doable.
A 9.4 is near mint, as my shirt is telling you right now. 9.4 is near mint.
Oh, I love that. Oh, what a great shirt!
This is from White Whale Comics. It's got the whole. It's got the whole CGC grading list on the back.
That is awesome.
And then it says 9.4 near mint on the front. This is made by White Whale Comics.
Oh my gosh, I gotta hit him up, man. That's a great shirt.
Yeah, it's a fun shirt. I got a tank top version from my LCS owner because he thought it was hilarious. He's like, yes, I totally agree. I need this shirt. So I gave it to him as a gift.
Very underrated comic. I miss George. What's up, George? Good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping in. We got Chet saying my 9.6 signed by Stan Lee was only $350. Okay, wow. Dang. I would do that. I would do a 9.6 Stan Lee for $350.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, who knows when he bought it though? Like it could have been
like
1993.
A Stan Lee signature now is like looked at as like $500. So that's that's a great deal. Great shirt, John. Definitely a cool shirt. Shout out to White Whale. I know he has a couple of shirts, so very cool.
Yeah. I tend to wear a lot of his swag.
So I mean that's essentially it for, as I said, just kind of grab some of the other facts. Is there anything else that I'm missing here? Anything that stood out to you guys with this issue?
I would have, other than the fight, I'd rather have them talking shit for a little longer, like in the bar, just like between the two of them, because it just seemed like they went, "Oh, I don't like you. Okay, let's go mental."
Right.
And it was just like, I kind of want to stare down between the two, kind of like size them up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, also like Xavier straight kills this guy on what basis? Like, what basis did he decide I need to murder this guy?
That's a good point too.
Yeah. He basically just says like, I got a really bad vibe and I went into this place and then we just threw down and I killed this guy and I walked out like a pimp. Like that was basically how it went down. We know as readers that Shadow King is an amazingly horrible villain. But like in these pages, do we really get that? Like, is he torturing little kids in the back room and we just don't see it? Or
I don't know if we ever get a follow up like directly after that, like of Storm and them, like what happens with that whole thing? Because he built this whole empire of him running stuff. I mean, I know eventually she goes on to do other things, but what happens right then? Who takes over then?
Chet says he had to, or he may have been killed. He didn't know him, so he's defending himself. I get that. But he's still
the white man always has choices.
Yeah, to kill. By the way, Chet says he bought it last week.
Ooh, great deal.
No, I'm not trying to be mean, but Xavier would have, with the way he's been made out to be kind of highest and everything, he would have tried to find some other way. It seems kind of a cop out.
Yeah, that's true. He is like Storm in that sense, where they try not to kill if they don't need to.
Not his most pacifist moment.
No.
Maybe that's when Cassandra Nova took over. They can retcon that.
Oh gosh. All right. Well, any final thoughts or opinions on this that we didn't cover? I think we covered pretty much everything here.
I think so.
Yeah.
Can we take it over and under on how many times Chet gets the right answer? These questions.
He's done pretty well over the run here, but he's got to put Magic Lasso away. That Magic Lasso, he's a tough one to beat. Quick on the gun.
That is true.
I'm rooting for you, Lasso.
So yeah, if you guys are new or you're not aware of what we're doing, we do giveaways, or we're doing a giveaway. We have two different giveaways that we have going on, and we're about to ask some questions where I totally blanked on mentioning this in the beginning of the podcast, or so many things going on. So you could win this bad boy right here if you can answer the questions that we're about to ask. You can get a entry to a raffle ticket to potentially win Volume 2 of the.
You just woke up, bearded comic bro.
And did I hear you? There he is.
He's all awake.
So, and then also John is going to be giving away a X-Men mystery box. So
I'm gonna do a little flat rate box of all X-Men mutant related fun stuff. So have some fun swag in there.
Yeah. So nice. These are all. Questions based on last issue that we discussed. So I hope you guys did your homework. And just a reminder, if someone else answers correctly first, you should still copy or paste or write in the right answer as well, because if you come in second, you do get 1 point for John's raffle, whereas if you're first, you get 2. So first and second place matter for the mystery box. If you're getting into mine, you need to come in first. Another point that you can get for John's is if you give us some comedy. So we're always looking for some funny answers as well. So feel free to drop in some humor if you have some. All right. With that being said, John, you want to start with your question first?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to start with a basic Marvel knowledge one that you didn't necessarily need to read last week's issue to know the answer to, which is, and I'm sorry if I butchered the name, but what is the name of Kazar's cat? He has a saber-toothed cat that is befriending Wolverine in this issue. Some very entertaining stuff for me. I love the Wolverine and his kitty stuff.
So
what is the name of his cat?
Yeah. Oh,
wow.
I see it twice already.
Yeah.
It is.
Jackson Roy Kirk getting the raffle ticket and the 2 for points. He's trying to stay in the running, man. He's trying to catch up with I Got Issues and Chet here. And then I got Magic Lasso with the secondary point.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you at, Lasso? Man. Lasso's going to be tough to catch. I'm just telling you right now at this point. We're getting near the end. Bearded Comic Bro. I'm giving him Garfield, though. Bearded Comic Bro. Where are you at on my list here, man? It's been a while.
Oh, Alonzo, you were late, man. You were just a shy late.
What was Alonzo saying?
Alonzo, you should have said Phoenix.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so next question is name. I'm looking for 3 names here, so you got to write 3 names. You can either use their real name or their hero name. Name the 3 X-Men left standing to rescue the rest of the team after they were initially attacked and captured by the soldiers that
pterodactyl sentry guys.
Yeah. So who are the 3? The 3 names that
name all 3.
Yes.
Wow.
That is very close.
Name, and name.
Very, very close. Yeah.
Eeny, meeny, miny.
This is interesting because you definitely have to have the right combination. You can't just blurt out anything.
But we're set already.
Oh yeah. Oop.
So I got Jackson Roy Kirk, another raffle ticket and 2 points, but Chet
is second. All right.
Second. And we'll hear some fun comedy coming in. Oh my gosh. Wait a second.
Oop.
Desired and Comics and Pops with the same comedy answer?
See, they've been having back to back the same. Alonzo's just copying people, I think, at this point.
That's hilarious.
Rogue Street person.
Alonzo is first though of those 2.
Yes, he is.
Yes, it's just funny that they do the exact same answer. That's hilarious. The Supremes. The Supremes are back. I'm gonna give it to V. Read Across the Stars. Rogue's 3 personalities.
That's Victoria. Look at you.
Victoria, you are set
in the running. Good stuff. Yep, raging with the 3 Stooges. You're late, my friend. You're late.
Don't do bearded anything. I try not to. I really don't. But I actually had to send him a giant mystery box giveaway recently. So I hope his daughters. I tried to pack it full of kid stuff so he couldn't enjoy it. My second question is about the ending of the issue. The sun god city, every city part of that giant temple just falls apart. The whole thing just is a wreck. And X-Men are falling all over the place needing rescuing. I want to know who rescues Cyclops. Cyclops is falling to his death. Who rescues him at the last second?
Chicken Little.
And what's on second?
And yeah.
If I was in the chat.
Dad jokes top tier this week. Your dad's going to be proud.
Yeah.
Is it Farouk Assault?
Yeah.
That's the one he missed.
It's that Faroukin guy again.
Yeah.
I see it. Chet.
Yep, Chet's first again.
Coming in strong. It's all Chet and Jackson Roy Kirk this week. Second, though, I got Banshee. Magic Lasso's got Banshee.
I was like, we got Banshee in the chat. All right.
somebody knew. An Irishman.
So we have Alf.
That's pretty good.
His massive ego. We have oh no, it's almost beat.
Superman saved him while catching the helicopter too.
Who's on third?
I like the Superman the movie reference, Bearded, so I'll give it to you there.
There you go. He knows his way to your heart there, John.
Right? He knows I'm a Christopher Reeve fan. Yeah, Chet says in issue 119, I get to stop you guys from bashing Banshee. Well, hey, then I look forward to that moment.
So during that issue, do we get to drink shots in honor of Banshee?
While you do your question, let me grab a slab.
Okay. All right. So the last question for the night is: who did Cyclops chase up the set of stairs towards the end of the issue? who was it that Cyclops was randomly, not randomly, chasing up the stairs in the end of the issue? What was that person's name? Looking for a name. And this one, I totally just forgot this person's name, so I had to initially look it up. Yep, I already see the answer.
I see two of them.
So I got Lasso first. You see that, JR?
Yeah.
Wow, that was fast. Really
followed by Sir Chet-a-lot.
Yep. So we got all right. So Lasso's first, John.
Lasso, not surprising.
Good mix of people coming in first,
and then Chet. All right,
Chet is second, and then we have a couple of funny ones. Yeah, Nigel saying his baby
mom.
The babysitter.
I'll do it. Desired Comics, you're set. It's another comedy answer point for you.
Nice.
I was going to show Chet. I got my first appearance of the Banshee last week. I don't own a lot of low digit X-Men issues, so this is my second lowest issue. I have the first Sentinels issue 14, and then I have this one.
Nice.
Oh man.
Most of mine, I don't collect a ton of the 2-digit, or I don't have any of the 1-digit issues. But I couldn't resist this from my buddy Big Will, and now it's basically the one member of the new team that I didn't have their first appearance. So
very nice. It's a great cover. Chet. Very bright cover too. I mean, good.
Yeah, I mean the colors for a 5.0. I think the colors are really sharp.
Yeah,
I've always liked Banshee.
Presents really well.
Yeah, definitely.
Very nice.
So thank you, John. Big Will Comics, man.
Yeah, good stuff.
I knew you'd appreciate that, chat.
There you go.
Lasso issue 3, the Blob. Nice.
That's pretty good.
See, I don't got anything under 94. I think is my earliest.
Yeah, I mean, I only have
Daredevil,
a couple in there. Yeah,
some would argue that that's some of the best issues.
My logo for the longest time on YouTube was issue 35, which is the Spider-Man Along Came a Spider cover where he's like jumping and attacking the X-Men. I was my LCS had that, and I was like, yes, I'm buying this. First time Spidey and the X-Men meet up. Let's do this.
I was just saying first crossover, right?
The only way I'd have Spidey on my cover is if it's the Punisher issue where he's using him as a punching bag, where the Russians beat him up on the whatever Eiffel Tower or whatever.
Yeah, you got to shame me, Chet, right now. Like I was just showing a book, my man. Like what are you doing? My lowest 5.0 is issue number 1. Come on, man. What are you doing to me here? What are you doing to me? It was my moment. You just took my moment, Chet.
Totally.
That's you're not saying boom, John. You're saying like boom, John, in your face. That's what you're saying, Rod. I know what you're saying there.
Boom, John.
I feel that. I feel it.
That's great stuff. So the chat's been awesome. The Farouk jokes were awesome. Good job to everybody with the Farouk jokes. Big shout out to JR, man. Thanks so much for being here, and
thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. We'll have to have you on again at some point. Guys, make sure you're following JR Rogues Law on Instagram, and he's also with the Team Nerd Herd podcast on YouTube. I put the links in the description below. They have a lot of really cool things coming up. In fact, why don't you share a couple things? What do you have coming up right now, JR?
Well, we got the premiere of Kelly Thompson. We interviewed her. We got her interview on Friday night. Thursday, we're going to have The Butcher from Pressable Defects.
Yeah, nice. Cool.
Yeah, which is going to be we're either going to get our show taken down for the first time, or it's going to be really good. I feel sorry for Alonzo because I think he might be the butt of a lot of jokes that night. I think The Butcher and I are going to go after him probably.
That's great.
Yes, who else we got?
I was just telling Greg, you to be on the show, you do need to read at least the issue you're coming on to talk about.
Yeah,
it's just kind of expected.
We got John Boy coming up in a couple weeks.
Nice. Whoa. Cool.
Yeah, and he was nice enough to send us some stuff to give out to the fans.
Oh, awesome. Nice! It's like some giveaways. That's so cool.
Yeah, so we'll have that. Other than that, it's a lot of fun. We do a lot of crazy stuff. A lot of swearing and a lot of Alonzo professing his love to me. Whereas I have coined now spreading the love around.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, Chet just followed you over on Instagram.
You already follow me, Chet.
Peter saying is out.
Greg, come on, man. You're better than this.
Chet,
It's not
Chet,
just
we've
about
talked plenty of
DC.
times.
You could read stuff besides Batman.
Isn't that all that counts in DC?
These days, it seems like it's all they want us to count.
Yeah.
I mean, when Jeff Johns was doing Flash or Green Lantern, that was great. But
Oh, there it is.
yeah. Or
Shout
when he
out to
did the
Bearded,
Phoenix.
actually. Bearded Comic Bro just interviewed Daryl Banks.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, it's great.
Oh, nice.
The gentleman behind these first appearances for Kyle Rayner. And it was a really great interview he dropped on Monday. And it was just really, really cool. So if you want to hear a great classic 90s artist discussing their craft and the issues they had a big hand in creating, definitely cruise by the Bearded Comic Bros channel.
Wouldn't mind hearing about the fridging incident and see what stuff he gets about that.
It was a really good interview. I just watched it this morning, actually, when I was at work. That was good stuff for sure.
Yeah, it was a really good one.
John, what about you? What do you have coming up?
Well, this is a pretty light week for me. I'm on a lot of other people's channels, so I'm hanging out here, and then tomorrow I'm on the Comic Core. Thursday, I drop my pull list video so you can see what I'm grabbing in the coming weeks ahead. And then I'm off again until Saturday morning with my girls when we'll be looking at whatever the girls have been reading this week.
Nice.
And yeah, just hanging and having a good time. Now, next week, Comic Gories is back on Monday, so you can expect a fun game show that Monday night. He's already sweating bullets. He knows.
I'm not ready.
I might have to see this show.
Yeah, no, JR, you don't need to see this show.
I might have to see this show.
So we got Justin, we got Comic Man Andy, we got Kachung, and they're all going head to head against Bonafide Comics, who's our winner from 2 weeks back.
Oh man.
And then I'm hosting Omni X-Men next week. So we're back here, and we should have Azores joining us to talk issue 117.
Awesome.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah.
Glad that we were able to. Yeah, we were able to work something out. He'll be on. Oop, I just wanted to highlight Biggie. We got Biggie Shack in the house. What's going on, Biggie?
And Chet was reminding us that he's going to give away an X-Men slabbed book. So be prepared for that as part of our giveaway as well.
Yep, that's right. Good stuff there. Comic Gories is the death of me. Yeah. So I am not. I am excited of the idea of being a part of your show, Comic Gories, because I love the concept of Comic Gories. I love the games categories. So I feel like I'm confidently good at that game. But this, like scrambling to find a comic book in time because of a certain category, I just feel like I am going to be. I'm either not going to show up with something in my hand, or it's just going to be way off.
So wait a sec. Can I get the premise of this?
Yeah. So the concept of the show is 4 YouTubers join us. Me and my co-host partner, we've created a list of categories for comic book covers. You know, it might be like red cover or fire cover or water cover. And we randomize them, and whatever comes up at the top, they get 30 seconds to go into their collections and find the best book for that category. And then the chat votes who wins. It's really cool, JR. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, but I mean, let's just do that real quick.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
That's 30 seconds is not, it goes fast. 30 seconds.
I don't think I can clear off that top in 30 seconds.
Usually when I've played in the past, a few times me and the co-creator had to play head to head. And I would bring in like a foldable table and I'd lay out all these slabs that I thought would be useful. I'd pull the tops off of all my boxes. I would basically just rearrange it for the night and be ready.
Yep, that's what it sounds like.
I remember, John, when you I think it was like the first or second time. No, I think it was like your second or third time. You were getting ready and you went live on Instagram beforehand. Yeah. You were showing your room like a tour of it was just a disaster. You're like, I got everything spread out. I'm gonna run to whatever. And JR, you see some people they have like a room full like you where you see them run like to one side of the room and run to the other side if you think the best was we had Bear Island Comics on, and he had his cell phone wired in or wirelessly attached, so like
he would run with it downstairs to his basement where he had everything laid out, and he was hoofing down the steps with it, and then you'd see him looking around, and then he'd run back up with it as long as he was holding it on camera like it was good.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's funny.
I was waiting for him to just take his exercise. Yeah, exactly.
So if you want to have a good laugh, make sure to check it out. John, is it on your channel or
it's always on my channel? Yeah, usually it's every other Monday, unless we do a special. Sometimes we'll do a holiday themed one. We're preparing an April Fool's shenanigans special. So we're hoping to do some wild shenanigans on April 1st, which is a Thursday. So that week we're bumping it to Thursday.
Nice.
I'm gonna have to check this out.
Yeah,
check this out.
Yeah, if you want to come see me fall on my face, you definitely want to check out the Monday episode.
And it's fun to vote too. It's fun to vote in the chat. You get to see them sell their comic as like, this is the best Rain cover, trust me. And then you've got to be like, who's the winner? And then the winners of the first round go head to head in the finals.
Yeah. Okay. I'm hoping that one of the topics is show off your X-Men 1 signed by Stan. That's what I'm hoping that is one of the topics.
The problem is Bonafide Comics probably has that thing laying around. You don't know. I mean, he's probably going to be like, yeah, mine's triple signed. What's your problem?
Yeah, you're right.
And then you're like, I lose because he's got a triple sign.
So true.
Yeah, Bearded. I'm trying to put the cast together for the April. If you have ideas for who I should pull into this shenanigans show, I've got one person locked in already, and I got a couple ideas, but I haven't pitched it to anybody except this one person who I really wanted to have on because they're a shenanigans kind of guy.
Nice. Well, yeah. So that's at 9:00. That's this following Monday coming up, or the 15th. So and that's something I will be a part of. So I'm very excited about it. Other than that, I have Tag Team Thursday. John mentioned where we'll be streaming, doing our kicks off with Just the Rican and his comics. Rod there at 6:30. So guys, make sure you check that out. And it's me, John, Tony, Dan. I don't know if Brandon's joining us.
Brandon said he's got an idea for what he's doing this week.
Okay, perfect. And then I close it out around 7:45. So definitely, guys, check that out if you haven't already.
Brandon says, "Show a comic your dad drew."
Yeah.
I think you'd win that category. I think you'd definitely beat my dad. I don't know that he's got one.
And then so Saturday I have Comic Collector Origins, and guess what, guys? My guest for this Saturday is going to be our good friend Magic Lasso, who was in the chat.
Good one, great pick.
So gonna have him lined up 2:00 Eastern time for that, and then following that on Sunday, I've been going live on Sundays, but I'm actually going to be doing a little book review with my friend Kelly, who was in the chat earlier. We are going to be doing a talk on The Red Mother from Boom Studios. So
nice.
her and I will be going live and talking about that Sunday around 3:00 on my channel. So definitely, if you guys are around, if you read Red Mother, swing by and say hello and check that out. Yeah, really, really enjoyed it. So there's Lasso right there. He's looking forward to it.
Is it going to be the battle of the dad jokes on Saturday with you and Lasso?
Maybe Lasso and I have to make a
top 5 dad jokes.
Whatever the comic-gory is, you have to get opposite of that and come up with a really clever dad joke of some sort. What's up? What's going on, Dave? Ruben in the house. Thank you guys for swinging in here. We're just wrapping up, but yeah. So what did you call my mom? Yeah. So that's some of the stuff going on. We definitely we all got some cool stuff coming up. So again, if you guys are not following JR, make sure you do. His information is in the description below, and John's as well. And we'll be over on John's channel this following Tuesday, 9:00 as always. So make sure you check that out as we break down 118 with Azor's Tigers. Looking forward to that. So again, JR, my friend, thank you so much. Representing Team Nerd Herd. Shout out to the crew. Thanks for being on. And yeah, so great show, guys. Thanks again, everybody in the chat. We will catch you guys next week. And we are out.